Hey everyone, welcome back to the culcom Daily Question Podcast. I'm Jeff.
I'm Lewis.
Okay, today we're going to look at some of the discussion topics that are commonly talked about at a culcom. What's our topic today?
So the topic today is tips.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at tips. So we're going to try to give you some good advice. But some of this advice might not be the greatest type of advice. I'm just a silly Canadian. But okay, the first question, Lewis, do you have any tips for managing stress in your daily life?
Sure. I think for me, it's switching off from social media.
Mm-hmm.
It has quite a lot of time and negative connotation as well.
Yeah. For me, social media is actually one of the things that causes me stress because I work as an actor and an entertainer. And there's all these other actors and entertainer friends of mine on social media, and I often compare myself to them.
Yeah.
So, and that's what actually causes me a lot of stress because there may have been a job I wanted, but it was given to someone else more handsome than I. Okay. So I'm just
not possible.
So that causes me stress. But I think another a point of advice or a tip I could give is also to surround yourself with positive people that are very compassionate and genuine.
Sure.
Toxic people actually cause you lots of stress.
Yeah.
You don't realize it until it's too late, but they're like energy vampires.
Just draining energy.
Yeah, we're on the same wavelength thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but I agree with you. So plugging yourself pulling yourself out of social media it causes a lot of problems too. Even if it's a stupid food picture, you're like, I wish I had that.
Right.
That brings you stress. Yeah. Can you read number 2?
Sure. So what tips or methods are used for financial management?
Oh God, guys, I'm not good at financial management. I shouldn't be given any tips, but I often look at my bank account and I see, I'm like, where'd all my money go? There was more of you yesterday. Now, why is there less of you?
Right.
But someone told me a great way for financial money, method for financial management is to keep a diary of your spending habits, what you purchase, how you're paying your bills and everything, so you could actually see what things that you're actually wasting a lot of money on.
Okay.
Compared to what are essential things that you actually need.
It sounds like too much work.
Well, I mean, I did it last year as a New Year's resolution. I got 15 days into it, and then I had to stop. I just got tired of keeping track because I had to carry the book around and write this much money.
Right.
And then I took the train. Shoot, there's another expense.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for financial management?
For me, it's about using cash. So I tend to just take a set amount of money out. That way I know how much money I have and what I can do with it.
Yeah. Another point is, if you don't need to use a credit card, don't use that, because that's basically, you have to pay the bank more money for money that you used in the past. And that's just going to eat up more of your expenses.
It's just too easy to tap and pay for things.
Yeah. So I like that thing. Yeah. So I think I should carry more cash around, but I'm always worried I might drop my wallet. Number 3, what are some effective language study tips or methods commonly used?
I think for me, I try and learn a word or a phrase a day or every few days.
Yeah. Have you ever used those word of the day calendars, these 3 or 4 consonant syllable words?
I've not, but it's something I might try.
Ostentatious and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. When I was learning Korean, I did the whole language and immersion intensive program, and that really helped my speaking. But what I found is also watching television programs that you. And if there's someone that you actually, it's kind of cool in the way you speak, and then watching a TV program with your native language subtitles on it. So if you do actually like that expression in the subtitles, you could just try to copy it.
Okay.
And then practice it and all that stuff, because that's more like an organic word that's used
right.
a lot. Right now we're in Daegu, right?
Yeah.
And well, like in Seoul, like they say 힘들다, like I'm tired.
Okay.
But Daegu people, like they actually say dida.
Dida.
You know, like, so it's like that word is more, like that sounds more cool, I guess, if you use it.
Yeah. I guess the
this-
dialect changes.
With this, than simple, just common words, like, because sometimes books get out of the vocabulary they might teach, or the grammar goes out of date. Anything else? Any other tips for language? I mean, your Korean is up here, down here.
I'm going to say about a 3.
Yeah, but so just try. I guess every person is different, so you just have to find a method for yourself.
Yeah. I think I'm the opposite because you said about immersion.
Yeah.
And for me, that, I guess, scares me a bit. I think I'll go a bit slow and try different ones.
Can you read number 4 then?
Sure. So, are there any etiquette tips or guidelines when you travel to other countries?
Ooh, yeah. So like every country kind of has its own etiquette thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's in Asia, like I've learned like a lot of like etiquette things, like or customs. Like in Japan, like normally you walk on the right and the other people on the left, but Japan it's the reverse. More people walk on the left and then the right, like walk on the stairs or the escalator.
Yeah.
On the escalator, you stand on the right, walk on the left. But in Japan, it's the reversal, or maybe this is just in Osaka or in Tokyo, specific, that you actually stand on the left and walk on the right. Another thing is like in Thailand too. It's It's rude to tap someone on the head.
Oh yeah.
Or to show the bottom of your feet to some people.
Okay.
And yeah, like I learned that by actually watching like Dragon Ball Z. In Thailand, they actually blur out the bottom of the feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting, that one.
But yeah, knowing the local customs is important. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think you can learn a lot from like local people. Like in Korea, sometimes you give with 2 hands, which I didn't know until I came, or like a bow.
Yeah.
Or Ned.
Yeah. One thing that I didn't know either too is like if someone, when I was growing up, if my parents were angry at me, I was not allowed to look away.
Okay.
So like when I would like, my mother was like going, "Don't look away, look me in the face."
Right.
Like going, "You're a bad boy." But in Korea, it's actually the opposite.
Oh right.
So if someone's angry at you, it's rude to actually make eye contact with them. You're supposed to look away, like look ashamed of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you could see a pamphlet anytime you go somewhere, I guess try to learn the local customs quite because there are some things like some etiquette tips that are actually could be very rude if you visit.
Right.
Yeah. Or we all know the India one. You're supposed to eat with your right hand. And like wipe your ass with your left hand.
Okay.
If you eat with your left hand,
right,
then that's seen as rude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you think of any other like countries that have special etiquette things that shocked you?
I think it might have been in China, like not to give or put money in hands. There's always like a tray.
Oh, okay.
It could be seen as like rude to hand it or take it.
Yeah, I've seen that in Japan as well, and I've always tried to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, be careful what you might think is polite might be rude in another
right.
nation. Number 5. Yes. Are there any tips or advice regarding the current trend of fashion styles?
I guess each person has their own style, and each year different trends
right
come about.
Yeah, like I'm not up to date on the fashion trends, but like sports clothes, like I guess like yoga pants, like ladies like wearing yoga pants is a common fashion trend. I like it, but it's you have to also be careful like where you are. Like some things are not acceptable in certain areas. But one trend that I don't really like is now like tattooing is okay. You could cover it up. He's got something there. But what I don't, so a trend that I don't like about that now, like facial tattooing.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not.
Like SoundCloud rappers or like stars or like hearts or writing something on your face.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. Just like it looks like ugly doodles.
Yeah, I think I like having tattoos, but it's nice to cover them up
Yeah.
depending on the
Yeah. Like
situation.
I'm sure this has happened to you. You're drinking with your buddies and you pass out. What
Yeah.
happened like at a frat party? What happens when you wake up? You got like
Pen.
You got people
Yeah.
draw all over your face. Like that's what I associate these
Right.
facial tattoos with.
Yeah.
So I've got well, tattoos are now starting to grow in Korea too. But I mean, each their own. I don't have any tattoos. Yeah. But you know, if you're going to have a special fashion trend, like try to think if it will what your parents might think of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's my advice or my tip.
Yeah.
You know, don't go too hard. Try to consider what your parents might think.
Right.
Can you read the next one, number 6?
Sure. So, what tips are there in Korea for a budget-friendly and enjoyable traveling?
Well, now actually, like taxis are getting more expensive.
Sure.
So if you can get like public transit, it's actually very easy to do, and you could travel a lot of places using the train or a bus. You know, as well as like just there's like I always like see on my YouTube algorithm like the cheap restaurants that like
Yeah.
delicious restaurants and the cheap prices. So yeah, there's not like lots of expensive places. You know what to avoid.
Yeah.
Do you have any other tips for a budget-friendly travel trip in Korea?
I think definitely try like local places, not like, especially in Korea, like Western food can cost a lot more.
Yeah.
To like eat local prices are better.
Yeah. So yeah, like when in Rome, do as Rome. Yeah. So just eat the local food. It's gonna be priced for the locals too.
And I think it tastes a lot better as well.
Yeah. Well, it's mostly the foreign foods here is mostly someone just watched a tutorial.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can be more expensive than what it might be in its native country.
Sure.
All right. Number 7. What tips or dietary advice is followed to maintain a healthy eating habit?
I think I'd have to say eating a bit of everything, have what you want, just not in an excessive amount.
Yeah, like having a balanced diet.
Yeah.
These again, I shouldn't be saying this 'cause looking at my body, but I was actually on a health kick before COVID. But once the gyms closed, I stopped exercising and stopped eating healthy and had too much takeout. That's why I'm a little chubby. But 3 meals a day is you should try to have 3 meals a day, even if you don't like to. It's gonna help your balance. You're gonna have the energy when you need it.
Yeah.
And your metabolism's going to just keep a steady pace than starving yourself.
Right.
I think like you have to keep. Don't fuck around with your metabolism.
Yeah.
Because you might just skip a meal and like trying to lose weight, but then your body's just going to compensate
Right.
and slow down. That's my one tip. That's what I think. Anything you want to contribute, dietary? You said like eat like everything.
Yeah, I think I've tried before, like cutting things out and then wanting them more. Or like, yeah. So I think is a lot better to just have what you want, just not in a...
Moderation's also
moderation.
Moderation's also important. So like, just have enough of it. You don't have to finish the plate. You're not a child.
Yeah.
Moderate. So you just eat enough till you feel full. You don't have to eat everything on it.
Yeah.
Right. Number 8. Could you read?
Yeah. So are there any tips or methods for enhancing work productivity?
Dang. Again, I'm a dumb Canadian. You shouldn't listen to me. This is only like a half truth.
Okay.
Work productivity. I guess actually like have like write out a daily schedule, like what you want, like goals, daily goals. So if your goal is like to have certain projects done at certain times, or you have to multitask, people have problems multitasking. But
Okay.
I think that will if you want to multitask to enhance your work productivity, you have to actually put everything down as a schedule to
See it and check
see
it off.
Yeah. Did I reach this goal by this time
Okay.
before I start my next thing? What do you think? Any tips or methods for that?
Yeah, I agree with that. Or set yourself a timeline. I like planning, so like planning things in
Okay.
advance.
Yeah.
I think makes me more productive. Or like a calendar, I guess, so I can see.
Now,
things are.
do you write down the calendar, or do you keep the calendar on your computer, or do you keep a calendar on your phone?
I have a calendar on my phone.
Okay.
It's scary to look at.
No.
Lots of colors.
Oh, I keep my schedule up in my head. I just have to remember everything.
Okay.
That's how I procrastinate, and I'm not really the best at work productivity.
Yeah.
Number 9, are there any technology tips effectively used for convenience in your daily life?
Papago. I think translation services.
Translation service. You were just saying, yeah, you use your phone calendar, your phone planner
Yeah.
to keep track of all your daily tasks, what you plan. Tips. I use Naver Translate for
Okay.
Papago if there's a word I don't understand. But convenience-wise, like Kaakaotalk messaging.
Yeah.
I right now, like I think, people don't even like even talking on their phones.
Right.
The original purpose of the phone is to call and talk to people, and now people avoid that.
Yeah.
So messaging, a messaging service actually it makes my life more convenient because I can see the stuff and like it also has a marker and shares the information.
Can go back and see what was said.
Yeah, so Kakao has really actually made my life more convenient.
Yeah.
Okay, and our final question, what tips are there for limiting or managing smartphone usage?
I think on my phone I can switch apps off for like an hour, like
Yeah.
focus mode.
Yeah,
is something.
I guess my one tip is, because like there is such a thing as like cell phone addiction.
Right.
So I guess the first thing you have to actually sit down and you have to come to grasp that you actually have an addiction to it. And then that's the first step. The first step is always realizing you have a problem. And then from there, then you could take the proper steps.
Sure.
You could do what you do, limited like the time of the apps can be used. You could get even special apps that restrict you, just turn your phone off at certain hours. So there's all different things, but I guess the first tip is actually realizing if you have a problem and how to address it.
I think it's too easy, like if you're on the bus or the subway, just to get your phone out and
Yeah, like I will admit I have like I have an addiction to my smartphone. Like I'll be listening to like music or a podcast on YouTube, and then for some reason I don't even I'll be scrolling through Facebook. And I'm like going, but I've already scrolling through Instagram. I'm like going, I'm going, wait, I was just doing this 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I was going, why am I still? And I left because it got boring. But then 3 minutes later, I come back and like
and continue looking.
The world doesn't change in 3 minutes.
No.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh man, I learned how I'm not a good person and how I could fix myself with my own tips.
Yeah.
All right. But any final tips for people?
I think just enjoy doing things that you like and just moderate how often you do it.
Yeah.
I think.
Mix up your life. Don't get stuck in like doing one thing for a long period of time, because that obviously you're not going to like what the results of that thing is if it's negative.
Yeah. I agree.
Using your smart devices or being unhealthy, eating garbage food, not being active enough. So you have to actually mix in some positive things for every negative. All right. But thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you on the next episode. I've been Jeff.
I'm Lewis.
Okay. If you have questions about culcom, you could search them on Instagram. Just type in culcom in the search bar. Bye-bye.